Hi there. Well, I know I need a shave, but as anybody who's seen my last video knows, my wife gave me a haircut. Tough times. Anyhow, folks, I have been managing in these times, as most people are. And managing means more than simply getting by day to day. I've been managing to find something to do most of the time. Now, admittedly, a lot of it is what I will call pointless busy work. But at the same time, I have been working with software. I've been learning how to use software. I found, for instance, that if you look closely at a Photoshop tutorial, you can probably apply almost everything from that tutorial to a piece of software like Affinity Photo. Now, some people may ask, why would you bother? Why not just use Photoshop? I started adding up the amount of money I spend each month for subscriptions. Now, remember, that includes everything from online systems I'm involved with, streaming video systems, cloud storage, music. By the time I got to the end of the list, I realized that an awful lot of money was being spent on subscriptions. To spend another amount of, well, I think in US dollars it's around $10 a month, which in Canadian money is considerably higher. Now, for a professional photographer, that, of course, is not an unreasonable expectation. I'm not a professional. Yes, I have done some pictures that I have been paid for, but I think the highest paying job I ever had was probably only around $1,500, which in professional standards is a rather modest fee. No, I just enjoy photography. When I started looking at all of the images I've taken since the digital era began, surprisingly, it all fits easily in about 3 terabytes. Now, I know that a lot of people will fill up 3 terabytes of drive space in a couple of months. For me, it's been 20 years. So, I'm not a prolific photographer. I do a lot of snapping, snapshot stuff that ends up being tossed away. But at this time, I'm concentrating more on doing something that is more skills-oriented. Okay? Now, I'm not going to get highbrow about this and talk about how my images have more significance than they did, or that my images are somehow more authentic than they were in the past. Authenticity does not enter into it. The fact is that my images right now have a certain degree of technical proficiency that may have been lacking in the past. I'm not there yet. I cannot consider myself a technically proficient photographer yet. But, as I've said so many times, and maybe I'm just making an excuse to myself, technical proficiency is not the number one issue or the number one positive point of an image. There is more to an image than just its technical proficiency. Now, if your techniques are sloppy, if you're not focusing accurately, if you're not exposing properly, then your images are not going to be good. And unless you really, really have struck upon some magic formula for making images that strike home emotionally, they will be quite forgettable if there is no skill involved, if you have not taken the time to do a good image. But we have technology. Nowadays, cell phones can make up for an awful lot of technical lack of knowledge. I know. My use of the English language has been technically inaccurate lately as well. But I put it down to the fact that at my age, my brain is so filled with all the crap that I've been building, stuffing in there for the last 60 odd years, that there's no room for anything new. And if something new comes in, then something old has to go out. I know, pretty lame excuse. Can't blame it on my haircut, though. Anyhow, folks, this rambling bit of nonsense is just to point out the fact that during this time, I am trying to do something positive that will help me in my photography. And the most positive thing I can do right now, the thing that can probably help me the most, is to work on that technical proficiency. Do my images have the emotional impact I would like? No. But until I can get technically proficient enough that it no longer becomes something I have to think about, then I can concentrate just on the image. So, if you found this to be at least a bit interesting, please give me a like. If you would like to see more of my videos, then subscribe to this channel. And of course, if you think anybody's going to get anything useful from this or any of my other videos, by all means share them. Well, if you are watching this and it is still April of 2020, be careful, take care of yourself, stay away from crowds, stay home. Bye for now.